Hello, everyone. We're here one more time. This is Ulises with MediPure, and through this live uh, Facebook webinar, we're trying to educate, inspire, and teach some principles. And also, we're trying to update people in terms of their health and giving information that are scientific, to assure that the people have a better comprehension of how what are the foundation of a healthy life and what is the root of illness. And today we have Dave Smith. Dave, say hello to everyone. People.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon.
Very good.
Life is good.
And you have a particular topic that you want to bring this up to all the audience today.
Yeah. As we have gone and seen, as we help people out, it's interesting as why, we give people guidance on what to do and how to overcome. I guess it could be habits, how to improve themselves. But then, why is it that they don't fall through? They might do it for a short period of time. Okay, it is one thing. And then the other is what people go and do things that they know that cause damage and suffering. And they know that, but yet they go ahead and they do it. Why does this happen? What causes it?
Well, in my conversation with thousands of doctors, this is always one of the questions that in the medical field there's always puzzle to doctors and also therapists and even psychologists. And of course, in your round of work, also by coaching people, okay, you probably see, some of the patterns that people had, that bring it to the, habitual behaviors that also are creating more problems. So first, we got to understand, how this works. Okay, the brain has certain circuitries that are turned on when you are in front of something that can possibly like you. Let's say you're in front of, I don't know, ice cream, okay? And there's chocolate ice cream. And then there is this little connection in the brain that comes, which is a like it. No, I like this. But that connection, it's not permanent. It's just transitory. So it just turn on and turn off right away. Okay, unless my attention on that. If I focus my attention, then this connection that I like this, it goes to a different connection. Okay, now it's because I had the intention, and I say I want this, which I change the transitory state of this connection of I like it because I see something to I want it. So now the I want it produces a different connection in the brain. That connection produce stimulus that helps me to walk towards the place where the ice cream is or to make the ice cream. So whatever it might be. So I had to think about it. So it is with our life. Most of these things are not necessarily bad, because that's the way how you do what you do. You see something like go through some challenges. You say, I would like to help on this particular profession, and then you move into I want to do it, and then you move into learning, and doing some other studies, and then as your behavior becomes, because of this connection that happened with I want it, okay, and it moves you to improve your life. Now, unfortunately, these same routes can be hijacked by some thoughts that are not constructive. So it moves me from this position to a position of I want to, which it can be also harmful. Okay, I want to gossip against my cousin. Okay, because he made me feel shame. So I can put excuse, and then of course I go on from, I would like to do this, which is transitory connection in the brain, to I want, which is a different route that's a little stronger. So now the strength of this connection, it becomes a lot more magnified if I keep doing the same over and over. If I go back to the ice cream, chocolate ice cream, eventually that'll be my favorite ice cream. And that's not necessarily bad, for the purpose of, liking something or want something that is not harmful. Okay. Unless it's chocolate ice cream that is actually is just a way how I can trying to feel better because I get stressed, then it's bad. No. So, but anyways, going back to that, no, it's a process that's a neural process, it's in the brain. We repeat the same behavior over and over, okay, and then it goes to another area of the brain, which is hijack, and those are the pleasure centers. That's when it becomes habitual, okay. It's something that I already experienced that it doesn't make me feel good. Let's say I start gossip against my cousin. It doesn't feel good. No, it feels like something's empty. I feel maybe guilty. And if I don't want to feel guilt, then I keep gossiping more just to be sure I don't feel the guilt that I have because my behavior wasn't good. But the point is that this can become even addictive. This behavior, which is being harmful or is producing me pain, can be addictive. So I can have addictive behaviors, okay? And then also, since there are emotions involved with this, less pleasant emotion. Every time, I'm doing something that is producing me pain, there's going to be an emotion that's not pleasurable. So I could be also addicted to the unpleasant emotion, okay? And then there is suffering that takes place if I don't make changes, if I don't learn through this experience. So I could be even also addicted to that. Now, we can argue this and say, who in the world would like to do something that is creating suffering? Okay. Now, let's look at our life. Why am I going, let's say, to eat something that is harmful? I know it's bad. Okay. But anyways, I go and eat, a huge pizza, or I eat something that is not healthy. So I went to see, let's say Dave, and Dave Smith teach me. And I learn and I say, oh, voila, I understand what Dave is teaching me. So it's been my behavior, I got to change. So I go with that idea, okay, and that Dave had been taught me. And I go home and I say, man, I'm going to change my life today. I'm going to do a different behavior. But here's the thing, okay? All these memories, they're always connected with a lot of different circuitries. Whatever behavior is, whether it's created in my mind only and producing emotions, or maybe it's including behaviors that are, habituals. All this, it becomes, so active in the brain. And then suddenly, after I go home, feeling that I'm going to change, my brother says something that maybe, it push a button, that it brings back, these memories of the old behaviors, and maybe turn my stress mechanism. And now something that was so strong, like I got to change, it can be override by this old habitual behavior. So this is one of the reasons why a lot of people fail to actually do the things that are good for them and go back to do the things that are creating more suffering. Okay, and you've probably seen some of that in your own clients, no? Okay, how they go back. No? So, anyways, I think you have a comment to make.
Well, and I guess, with that, as we help people through, but, I guess in a small essence, is there, what do we do, or what can that person do to go and change that? I mean, is there some simple things to do, or reminders or something that assist them in not reverting back to the old memories or ways.
Yeah. You know, the more that you think in something, the more that is activated some genes in the area of the brain that maintain the habitual and the addiction, no? Addictive behavior, to whatever it is. This doesn't have to be only on substance. It could be anything. Okay. Not only substance. We have addictive behavior to suffering, to strong emotions, no? To whatever is creating pain. So, and it's sad because, nobody wants is wake up in the morning and say, at 12:30 I'm gonna get upset with my cousin. Nobody do that. Or by 7 p.m. I'm gonna be so miserable. Okay. No one. Everybody wake up in the morning and you want to have a better day. And it doesn't matter where you live. You might be in prison. You may be in a very difficult circumstances. You still wake up, with a desire to have a better day for you and everybody around you. See, the problem is that as this is taking place in our life. No, let me just charge your phone because my phone is dying, so I don't want to lose you. Okay, but we're going through this. Oops, let me see if I have luck. Allow me to. Okay, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Okay, so the more that I think in something or act upon any particular way, the stronger that I'm making a circuitry and I'm mapping the brain with that information. So the cells, okay, particularly on the amygdala, which is an area of the brain with a specific type of neurons, they're activated. The genes are activated to increase the amount of dendrites, which is like a little cable things that pops out of the body of the neuron. So the number of dendrites is what it's called can be increased. So the more I do the same, the more increase. And this is good even on learning something, no, or doing exercise or learning how to do any skills, playing a piano or whatever. But it is also on behaviors, no, any behavior. It just actually induce genes to increase the amount of dendrites. So when you see the brain in the areas where there is like a stress mechanism that are turned on, you're gonna see a lot of population of this extension of these dendrites. So that as those dendrites stays there, you're gonna go back, even if you go to church and you feel that you want to forgive your neighbor and you feel good and you're genuine. You really want to go and change your life. When you get home and see your neighbor pulling out his driveway, you probably are going to have this stress turn on again because, but there are some things that we can do. No, I mean, we have put together some protocols. We have put together some therapeutic, help cognitive therapists to help. And you've been training some of these things, but there are some protocols. And if we follow these protocols, I mean, this is pretty much like doing exercise, no? You building muscles, you go and build this muscle, then increases, and then your abilities get increased. What is interesting when you see the brain, those dendrites that is being overpopulating start reducing in size and numbers. So, and that's a good news. That is where the concept of plasticity is, no? The ability of the brain to restructure. Okay. Even if you have a bad habit for 80, 90 years, 100 years, okay, we can change at any time. So some of the protocols that we have, actually have the purpose, to help people to make the needed change. So yeah, if we have only a good feeling to change, but if we have built a lot of these structures, okay, it's going to be challenging, okay, unless there is some kind of a really change on my heart, which is beyond, where my level of conscience have gotten so high, and I understand. I submit myself, to God, and I submit myself, and I know that I don't know everything, and I really need to be directed, and I become, uh, a different person. Then of course there is providence, and things can happen without much of our own do. But that's very little cases. That's not me. I'm a little hard-hearted. It takes me a little while. Okay, so I had to practice these things, and there is a lot of bad behaviors that I had I had to improve. But as I say, some things can change quick. I used to smoke cigarettes. I used to smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day. Okay, and it was so addicted to that, and it was so difficult to put behind. And one day, I was able to do it in one day. I mean, it took me a little bit before I was, totally, uh, felt disgusted with cigarette, But anyways, one day I dropped it, and I felt that this thing wasn't going to dominate my life anymore. It was just a thing, a cigarette. But of course, that's a different story. But there is a lot of different habits that I have to really practice and to make some changes so I can see better. Otherwise, the dominion of the emotion involved with those thoughts and those behaviors are going to be very strong. And this is connections and these chemicals involved with that. So, yeah, I invite anybody that needs some direction help, please write to Dave Smith, okay, to his website, your website, Dave. You're in Utah. He's in area Utah. Can you repeat it to us?
Yes. Yeah, it's lifewellnesssolutions.live.
Okay.
Lifewellnesssolutions.live.
And to anybody else, please write us, so we can put you in touch with Dave right into our Facebook Live. We're here now today, and thank you very much, Dave, that was a very important question. I think we need this because we all make the same mistakes, little or big. Sometimes we say we're going to change, and then we find ourselves trapped, like if we're in a prison. So now we have some tools to help you, anyone that's listening to us. Thank you again for being with us, and thank you to all of you.
Stay positive.